Leon's execution was interesting, because
It was a great way to start it.
It was a pretty good execution.
Yeah.
All of the executions have to do with their do all of them have to do with their ultimates? Leon's obviously does. He is pelted with baseballs. So, how much does a baseball weigh?
It's not too heavy, but the speed it can be thrown is pretty high.
5 ounces. Which is less than a pound. Google read my mind. Okay, so apparently it takes 520 pounds to crush a human skull, which is how Leon was believed to die from his execution. So now I have to find out how many ounces are in a pound. I can't spell
it. That had to be a pretty clean crush to crush the skull. It would have stayed there. It probably would have got lodged in the brain.
Yeah, so there's 16 ounces in a pound, and it's 5 ounces per baseball. This is, of course, assuming that they didn't use metal baseballs. This is based off of, like, they used actual baseballs. I don't know why they would have gotten that many baseballs, though, when they could have just used metal. But, the theme, I guess. I also don't have a calculator on here for some reason. So, back to Google I go. I can just look it up. I don't know why. Okay. How many 5/16? Dude, I did not press that button. In 520. That is not the question that I asked. I don't think I have a writing utensil with me, so I'm just gonna have to rely off of sketchbook here. Okay, so we got 5/16. Has to be 10/16. Okay, you know what? No, I'm not doing all of that. So, I'm gonna find out the decimal of 5 divided by 16, and then I'm gonna division to see how many baseballs it took to kill Leon. 'Cause why not?
Well, you also gotta count in the speed that they were shot at.
Oh, yeah. Because the beginning ones were, like, regular,
slow,
I guess.
But it
they were kind of
really
slow.
Quickly.
I don't know what the name of the machine that they used was, though, so I can't look up how fast they spit out baseballs, or how fast they can spit out baseballs. But we'll start with is it the numerator by the denominator? Or the denominator by the numerator? I'm in high school. I should know this. Okay, so 520 divided by 0.31. That is not 125 equals 1,664. This is, of course, going just based off of the weight. This would be how many you'd have to repeatedly drop on his head to crush his skull. And I haven't taken physics yet, so we can't really go into Delph.
10 to 52 miles per hour. It pitches light baseballs from 20 to 80 miles per hour.
I am, really questioning whether I should just ask my dad physics stuff. But you can't exactly walk up to your parent and be like, hey, how would you be able to find out how many baseballs it would take to cave a man's head in?
Wait, no, I got this.
You are not seriously going to look up how many baseballs would it take to cave a man's head in?
Yes, I am.
With the baseball spitting out machine. Since Leon's is quite simple, I just want to know how much research they did beforehand? Because the meaning for it is quite simple. Baseball player.
Oh, there's it.
Why not just hit him with baseballs?
A human skull is tougher and stronger than concrete and steel. They're like the same mass. We got strong noggins.
Yeah, and it takes 520
kilograms of
pounds.
It would take a minimum of 250 kilograms of force to destroy someone's skull. And if we count the speed, which is around 52 miles per hour. No, I don't really know how to math, but...
Okay, so according to my stupid American need for not knowing what kilograms equal in pounds, 250 kilograms is 551 pounds. So that would mean even more baseballs. And this is if they were just dropped repeatedly. Or with a specific amount of force. Because we haven't even gone over the inertia of it. This is a very simple execution. There's no meaning behind it. It can all be explained by science, but now we just need to know the science behind it.
So, in 1984, a very good Major League Baseball player named Dickie Thong was hit in the face by a fastball thrown by Mike Torres. Mike Torres had been known as a power pitcher, but was at the end of his long MLB career. He didn't quite throw it as hard as he used to. When Mike was in his prime, he could reach 93 to 94 miles per hour. Very hard for his time. Torres hit Thon in the face, let's say 90 miles per hour. The fastball shattered Dickie's face and his eye socket. It would not take as many as it did in the game.
I mean, yeah, and only one baseball had blood on it.
That whole thing would have been covered in blood. That man's body body would be torn to shreds.
Which, like, kind of makes me upset that we didn't get to see the final product. Not gonna lie.
Yes, I am very upset.
So I guess that's it. A wrap-up of Leon's execution. Because
It should have been a much, much more bloody.
it should have been, but they pieced it together, knew what age group was gonna want to play the game,
Yeah.
and decided to not, because they already had to turn their blood pink for age ratings.
Which is kind of disappointing, but still, that was...
I mean, it's become like a trademark of the games now, so
True.
if you have any sort of cultural referencing and you see pink blood, you're just like, oh, Danganronpa blood.
Yeah. I love how there were so many when it would, like, take 2 to 3 to actually destroy his skull if they were going full speed. And if we go by, like, it ramping up to hit that speed, it wouldn't take too long to do it.
Also, if we think about it, they were spinning him around at, like, I don't know, like, the same speed that the balls were coming out of the machine. So it could have been, like, 90 miles per hour. He could have died from hitting his head. And then a baseball could have gotten near it or hit the thing, gotten blood all over it, and then dropped. Because the execution only ends when the person's dead.
Yeah.
So technically, he couldn't have even... He may not have even died from the baseball itself. He could have died from the force of the wind going against him while he was spinning. So, yeah. Leon's execution was probably the most, science-based out of all of them. So...
We're not gonna talk about Butterman.
Butterman. We'll talk about Butterman next. That was the video. Peace.